Oh Lord, pull up in that '04, pedal to the metal, says she wanna hit the floor more.
Yeah. Absolutely the worst thing that could happen to this franchise is for them to win the division and make the playoffs. Yeah, we'll talk about that. First, subscribe to Atlanta Sports Unlimited for the greatest coverage of Atlanta sports teams right here on this YouTube channel. We're sponsored by Prize Picks, by the way. This great fantasy game. You know, and all you got to do is put in this promotion code ASU as Atlanta Sports Unlimited. Choose 2 to 5 players, go over or under, and you can win big time. Also, The Real Hank Aaron, my book, right here. I'll autograph it for you at therealhankaaron.com. And also, my latest book came out in October, Red Brick Magic. Sean McVay of the LA Rams, John Harbaugh of the Baltimore Ravens, the best record in football. Both of these guys are going to the playoffs. They went to Miami University. You can all read about how they went to my alma mater and their alma mater and how all of that helped them do well right now. Let's get to the Falcons. They are, as the old folks would say, they are a hot mess. Okay? They are 7-9. They're guaranteed of their 6th straight losing season, the 3rd straight under this current regime of Terry Fontenot as general manager and Arthur Smith as head coach. And they are totally overmatched. How do I know that? Let's go back 3 years. Their first year here, their first draft, they've got the 4th pick overall. They use it to draft a tight end over a franchise quarterback. Justin Fields, that franchise quarterback from up the road in Kennesaw, Georgia, they pass on him. They get Kyle Pitts. Yeah, you know, and I'm not a Johnny-come-lately on this. Within a millisecond after that happened, I mentioned on WSB Sports Zone Sunday, which I do every Sunday, I mentioned it on this YouTube channel, that was one of the worst moves in the history of the National Football League draft. How's that turning out? Well, let's see. Justin Fields is going like this toward being a franchise quarterback, while Kyle Pitts is going like this since the end of his rookie year as a tight end or just as an entity in general. How do we know that? Well, let's go back to Sunday. On Sunday, the Falcons were playing the Bears in Chicago, and they were just obliterated by that same Justin Fields. And Kyle Pitts, he did nothing in that game as usual. All right. And then you got all these other pitiful personnel decisions made by this regime. But let's look at this roster here. All right. They make a big deal about how they're a running team. Really? Okay. I mean, they even used the number 8 pick this year on Bijan Robinson instead of getting one of those stud defensive guys from the University of Georgia to make it capable of the Philadelphia Bulldogs to come into even more existence. That's the Philadelphia Eagles, by the way. But anyway, they got all these Bulldog players, mainly because the Falcons kept passing on them. But anyway, that's a whole nother story. So they get this Bijan Robinson as a running back, and guess what? With this vaunted running game, they've been outgained on the ground 3 of the last 4 games. What's that all about? I mean, it's not as if they can pass. And speaking of which, this regime, 3 years they've been here, 4 different quarterbacks. Since they got rid of Hall of Famer Matt Ryan that first year, they've used 3 quarterbacks. Is that worth mentioning? Because they passed on a franchise quarterback 3 years ago and they get a tight end. And then defensively, they spent all this money, $125, $130 million on defense in the offseason. How is that working out? Okay, well, going into this weekend, they were theoretically a top 10 defense. But you know what? That top 10 defense choked down the stretch against this pathetic Arizona, shaky Minnesota, Tampa Bay, that's awful. Carolina's the worst team in the National Football League. They let Carolina drive 90 yards downfield for the game-winning field goal. And then Chicago, I just showed you what they did to Chicago. In other words, it's like this. If the Falcons make the playoffs some kind of way, then this management team and this ownership team is going to lose their minds and bring these guys back for another year. Maybe longer. They might give them a long-term contract. Who knows? And all that's going to do is just delay the inevitable. Got to cut your losses. And here's the thing. Yeah, if the Falcons if the Falcons beat the Saints this weekend in New Orleans, and if the pitiful Carolina Panthers somehow beat Tampa Bay this weekend, and if Jupiter aligns with Mars, and if the Easter Bunny marries Santa Claus, the Falcons are going to win the division. But here's the good news for Falcons fans. The good news is you don't have to worry about any of that.
This is my falsetto wicked potion with the slow pour. This is my addiction, make me wanna go for more. Pale